Smilodon fatalis, the saber-toothed tiger, one of many iconic creatures of prehistory. And while these animals have been gone for a very long time, they left an indelible mark in our imagination. Today on Larp Stories, we shall discover together a few fantasy works with elements taken from our distant past. I am Sire Vince, your host. Welcome to my domain. Skyrim. In the Elder Scrolls' 5th installment, we can see two prehistoric animals dwell the wilderness of Skyrim for the first time. The aforementioned Smilodon, as well as the woolly mammoth. Many are seen following giants who domesticated them as cattle. Dungeons and Dragons. In Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual, we can find numerous dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures at page 79 in Appendix A. But if you are somehow familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, and your game master allows it, you can add many more prehistoric creatures to your campaign. A Song of Ice and Fire. In the novels of A Song of Ice and Fire, beyond the wall far north of Westeros live the wildlings. They coexist with giants who domesticated mammoths as well, with some of them being trained to become war mounts. While the Targaryens have their dragons, the Starks have giant wolves, inspired by the prehistoric canine Canis dirus. Surprisingly, these dire wolves are not wolves, rather a distinct genus of canines now extinct. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. In the rich universe of Middle-earth, there be gigantic elephant-like creatures, the Mumakil. In 1980's adaptation of Return of the King, they resembled mammoths, but they will drastically change in Peter Jackson's trilogy, losing the fur and gaining multiple pairs of impressive tusks. Believe it or not, such a creature once existed in our prehistoric world, known as Stegotetrabelodon. Try and say that 5 times in a row. The Rings of Power. In this series, we're following a group of Harfoot. The predecessors to the Hobbits are being chased by creatures that oddly resemble entelodonts. These prehistoric animals, known as pigs from hell, are the distant relatives of hippopotamus and whales. But most surprisingly, this animal was not officially named in the series, some folks even calling them wolves. Go figure. Some of these Harfoot were seen carrying these massive antlers on their backs, reminding me of those of Megaloceros, the great Irish elk. It is known that the character of Thranduil is seen mounting one of these elks in the trilogy The Hobbit. These fantasy works are but a few amongst many, if you're willing to look. If you are a creative who is watching this and seek to expand your narrative universe, whether it be for a novel, a game, or film perhaps, Prehistory is, without a doubt, an excellent source of inspiration. Try it. Tell me how it goes upon our next meeting. Until then, thank you, and I hope to see you all again soon on the next broadcast.